Am I the asshole for being upset when my boyfriend let his best friend's wife alter the dessert I made for dinner? Throwaway account. My boyfriend Jake, who is 28 years old, and I, who am 22, met at a coffee shop 2 years ago. I was working part-time as a barista during undergrad, and he was a regular customer. We started chatting, and after a couple of months, we began going out. I really love him, and we've had a great relationship so far. Nothing major has ever come between us before, so this situation has really thrown me off. Jake has a very close-knit group of friends, and over the past 2 years, I've gotten to know them and their significant others. They're mostly in their late 20s to early 30s, so I'm the youngest in the group, which sometimes makes me feel a bit out of place. One of Jake's best friends, Mike, is married to Anna. Fake names, of course. Anna is an incredible cook, and she often hosts these amazing dinner parties. Everyone usually brings a dish, and Anna is known for setting a high bar when it comes to food. Since I'm the youngest, I often feel like they brush me off when I offer to bring something, like I'm still the kid of the group. Recently, I asked Mike and Anna if there was anything extra I could bring to one of these dinners. For once, they said I could bring a dessert, which I was excited about. I'm Mexican, and there's a particular dessert, arroz con leche, a rice pudding, that my mom taught me how to make when I was little. It's my favorite, and I hadn't made it for a while, so I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to bring a little piece of my culture to the dinner. I even called my mom to get the recipe just right and practiced it a couple of times to make sure it tasted as good as I remembered. I had my friends taste it, and they said it was delicious. Jake also tried it and told me it was excellent, which gave me a little confidence boost. The night of the dinner, I showed up feeling nervous but proud. I greeted Anna, thanked her for hosting, and put the dish in the kitchen. When it was time for dessert, Jake proudly told everyone that I had made the rice pudding, and I felt a small sense of relief. But when I took a bite, my stomach dropped. Someone had sprinkled cinnamon sugar all over the top. It tasted overwhelmingly like cinnamon, which totally changed the flavor. Now, in my family, rice pudding is made with just a hint of cinnamon, but it's not meant to be a dominant flavor. It's all about the balance of sweetness, creaminess, and a touch of spice. Adding cinnamon sugar over the top threw that off completely, and I felt horrible because it didn't taste the way I intended. Everyone said it was good, but I could barely pay attention to their compliments because all I could taste was the cinnamon. When I started to look upset, Jake pulled me aside and told me that Anna had mentioned my dessert looked too plain, and she thought sprinkling cinnamon sugar would make it look more interesting. She asked Jake if it would be okay, and he said yes. I was stunned. I had spent so much time trying to make the perfect dessert, and Anna changed it without even asking me. I asked Jake why he didn't say no, and he just shrugged and said he didn't think it was a big deal. I started to tear up because it felt like such a slap in the face. I know it might sound silly, but this was important to me. It wasn't just about the dessert. It was about sharing a part of my culture, and having that changed felt like it wasn't respected. But when I started to cry, Jake got defensive. He said his friends already thought of me as young and a little sensitive, and that making a scene over dessert would just prove them right. He told me to drop it and that we'd talk about it later. On the way home, I was quiet, and he asked if I was really that upset over a little cinnamon. I didn't even know how to respond, so I just stayed silent. I didn't text him goodnight, and this morning he apologized, saying my reaction made him feel like a terrible person, but he still thinks I'm overreacting. I don't know how to feel anymore. I know it's just a dessert, and maybe it was silly to cry over it. Maybe I'm being immature, and I should have let it slide, but it felt like all the effort I put into making something special was brushed aside. I was so proud to share something that meant a lot to me, and when it was altered without my permission, it felt like I wasn't being taken seriously. So am I the asshole for crying when Anna added cinnamon sugar to my dessert, and for getting upset that Jake didn't stop her? Should I have just let it go and not made it a big deal? What do you think? Let me know in the comments.